Hello and welcome back to part 3 of Newbie Monday. I'm Dorjan.
And I'm Highflyer15.
In part 1, we went through the basics of what are the little things that can help you improve your game. In part 2, we actually did the little things and won 3 out of 3. And in part 3, we're now going to be talking about them a little bit more, a few of the things we missed from part 1, and answering your general questions. So the big one for this bit is, what do you do if your entire team are a bunch of morons and I just want to rage? What do you do? Highflyer?
What I do? Well, first off, instead of going nuts and just raging in the chat, calling everybody a noob, I calm myself down and then I think about what just happened quickly, because did I do something wrong, or was it just a team effort in losing so badly that I rage inside my pretty little head? And instead of just raging, yeah, calm down. Did you cause your own demise, just like that E50 who just went? I've been in this map 4 times, and each and every single time I have died to what I just died to. You guys, this map sucks because I can't learn it. That's basically what he wrote. And if he had just written that instead of "fuck it, heavy campers 4 times in a row," he wouldn't have sounded like an idiot, because he did. He did sound like that.
He sounded like an idiot. We didn't like him. If he then tried to talk to us afterwards, like, "Oh, it's Vivid TV guys, hi," we'd be like, "Dude, what the fuck?" You know, we don't like that sort of player. We don't expect you guys to be that sort of player, so it's the thing. Guys, if you're asking questions, we will be answering questions soon, so no need to repeat yourself. I've been grabbing questions as we go, and I will answer them at the end. My favorite, you can't win them all, okay, guys? No matter how good you are, you won't win them all, okay? As Highflyer said, have a look at yourself first. Did you do everything right? Is there something you could have done that helps them more? Remember, your teammates, even no matter how bad they are, they generally speaking have some things they can do, even if they're just a bullet shield. Is there something you could have done that maybe would have won? Other times, don't forget the enemy have some skill. There could be someone doing exactly what you're doing on the enemy team, who's exactly the same skill level as you on the other team. But he's got less retarded people on his team than you do, and they win. What happens then? Was it your fault? Was it his fault? Well, it's a combination of both. And you can't win them all. As long as you felt you did good and you look back and said, yeah, I think I did go okay, and you're happy, don't rage. Next game.
Yep. And with
one of the great things about World of Tanks, next game.
Yep. And with these new battle stats, you can go into the, if you're sitting there and going like, oh, you team, you're so bad, when the game ends, go into the battle stats, look at your team's stats and go, yeah, they were bad, and then it's not my fault because I'm at the top. I did great. Why didn't my team do good? And then you can speculate over that forever, because you can't read the minds of 14 people on the same team. So yeah.
Exactly. Right. So I'm going to go through a few questions. Actually, do you have a few more things to say about anything?
No. Not other than the whole learn from your mistakes.
We did that in part 1.
Yep.
But guys, basically, learn from your mistakes. Look at yourself first. Actually, I'll do the Sun Tse thing. All right. Sun Tse, in The Art of War, basically says this. I'll summarize. If you know yourself, but not your enemy, you will mostly know victory. Now, there's a lot more to this. If you don't know yourself and you don't know your enemy, you will always know defeat. If you know your enemy but not yourself, you will mostly see defeat. If you know yourself but not your enemy, you will mostly see victory. And if you know your enemy and yourself, you almost certainly will see victory. Now, you see there's one common component in all of these. You. And you will mostly see victory if you know yourself. Even with a massive army and a massive team, you will mostly see victory if you know yourself. You know your strengths, your weaknesses, what you are capable of. You know all them, you will mostly do well. Only then, once you've perfected your own personal style, can you start affecting other things. Look after yourself first, and then your teammates. Taking that shot for that friendly guy is all well and good, but when you're dead and your teammate then derps around and does nothing, was that HPX that keeping him alive worth it? Was it? Now, these are the little things in public plays you've got to learn. And we're obviously talking about public games, not clan wars and stuff like that. You guys will have your own tactics for that. But for public play, that's what you got to focus on. You got to focus on yourself. Once you know your strengths and weaknesses, your tanks, you will start seeing more victories than defeats. And once you've learned yourself, you can then learn your enemies, and then you'll you'll almost always see victory. And that is when you get to high tier play and you become a professional player. So
you're so deep, man.
I know. Take over the world. So yeah, question time. High Flyer.
Yes.
Bowley AB says, only Artie uses minimap a lot.
Only Artie? If you think that, then you really have to think again.
I think his comment was mainly towards mainly Artie should use minimap a lot.
Yeah, well, artillery has a lot more advantages with the minimap, because as an artillery you have the high firing gun. So if you want to switch to another position with your aiming circle reticle, then you can just hold down control and right click, not left click, because that's pinging the map. If you click control right click, you will jump to that specific square immediately, and it's a much faster way than to scroll through the entire minimap. I've started doing that, but then I stopped again after I learned the other thing, because it just goes so much faster, and your tank doesn't go in small I don't know, it doesn't go when you're aiming, so you're actually wasting time trying to scroll through the map instead of just control right click. And yeah, you should use the minimap. You can actually blow up the minimap a lot, because you only need to see the middle of your artillery reticle. You don't really need to see any other place, because that's where you're aiming. And if you zoom in to the minimap, or if you have the minimap up, it should be as big as you can overcome, because keeping a track of where tanks are and knowing the minimap and knowing where tanks are open, that's the greatest asset that artillery can have.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Now, don't shun the minimap if you're a light player or medium player or even heavy. As we said earlier in part 1, the minimap is so important for every player. You should have a big minimap. You should be looking at it constantly. You should be making sure that between shots, look down. Like if you're driving a car, for you who are too young to drive a car, basically this is a car. You go to do a turning. You look in your mirrors, you look over your shoulders, you then indicate. You then get to the turning. You look over your shoulders, you look in your mirrors, and then you turn. You always do your checks. So if you're playing tanks, you take a shot, you zoom out, right click, look around your tank, look at the mini map, go back into zoom and take your next shot. Zoom out, look around, look at your mini map, what's going on. If you do that and you're really focused, you can get a lot more done. This is a lot more important the slower your rate of fire. Next question. Zelfish just said, and I want to use this early because it really continues, I see pro players going, I'm scouting, get ready Artie. They rush into the enemy, and when the low tier Artie can't even reach the enemy, they die and go, boo-hoo, what noobs you are, after they die. Now, as Highflyer will say in a certain moment, I call these guys Voobs. Can you remember what Voobs means, Highflyer?
Veteran newbies.
Veteran newbies. They're not pro at all.
Nope. And the same goes for high tier scouting. You can't go, artilleries get ready. Artillery has a 40-second reload, dude. You should know that in a high tier game. You can't just go, enemy spotted, artillery suck, because you didn't hit anything. Well, I'm reloading and I'm aiming. Dude, chill. So artillery should be, if they want a proper scout, should say, wait a little, scout by the, I don't know, 14-minute mark, because then I'm ready. I'm already aiming at where you want to scout, and I have reloaded. So, yep, scouts really need to learn that.
Yep, and not to, and I'll explain veteran noobs a little bit more. These people who rage at you, who think they're great, will never get better. They're as good as they will ever be, and generally speaking, it's not that good. So they're a veteran noob. They will always be a newbie. They'll never get higher than they are, and they'll be forever content at blaming everyone around them instead of getting better. Next question from Laurel79. Mr. Christian, I believe he's called. Many people told me that the win rate is all about luck, but I don't think so. What do you think?
I think not, because I have been told by you that it's not. It really represents you as a player. If I was a bad player, I wouldn't have close to 59. It switches from 59 to 89. Or 89? 59 to 58 all the time. So, but it doesn't go below 50 at any point, because yeah, if you're around 48 to 52, then you're probably on teams where people are good at, and you're better at explaining it. So go, because you've done it before.
Okay, so basically with win rates, there is a degree of luck, of course there is. But over the statistical amount of games, so 10,000 games or 2,000 games or 4,000 games, there is actually you affecting it. You are the only constant in all the games. Going back to my earlier comment, you are the only constant in every single battle. Now, there are, of course, ways of fudging it. Always playing tier 2s in a platoon of 3 with mini cheeses can, generally speaking, raise your win percentage. But if you ignore the people who are trying to abuse it, and you yourself aren't abusing it, you're just playing the game, you will see your win rate rise when you're becoming a better team player. Okay, these guys with low win percentages but think they're good and have a high efficiency because they tell you so, they've got 1,300. These guys are the people who don't play with the team. They don't respond to what the team are doing, what they need to be done. They go forward, they die, they rage at their teammates, and they keep recycling the same situations. So win percentage is a reflection on you. Now, anywhere around 48%, you are normal. You're not helping win the game. You're not helping lose the game. You are a normal person. The vast majority of people have to be normal, because otherwise it wouldn't be called normal. So, and by the way, the reason it's 48%, not 50, is because of draws. So 48% of you, of all of you guys at 48%, you're fine. And you will get better by watching the show tells me you're a sort of person who will be getting better anyway. If you're slightly below, that can be luck. That can just be luck. You might be a 48% really, but you'll fluctuate between 47 and 49, and maybe 50 eventually, and sometimes 46. You know, it goes up and down. But after a while, when you're getting better, that will go up. You'll win more, then you lose. You'll play with people who are better because you'll befriend them, and you'll get better working together, and you'll teach each other because you want to learn. If you're just a casual player and you're happy being 48%, more power to you. Seriously, more power to you. There's nothing wrong with it. Don't let someone tell, oh, you're 48%, you suck. Shut up. I'm playing a computer game. Fuck off. There's worse things to be mediocre at, you know? Yep. Nothing wrong with that, guys. Nope. So the next question. Okay, not my question, but a statement. Motti SC says, I have a bad habit of being a rage gamer. Now, that's common, isn't it, Highflyer?
Yeah, it is. I know a lot of rage gamers, and to some extent I'm a rage gamer as well. Not to the extent where I smash my keyboard or throw my mouse away or stuff like that, but if you're allowed to scream at the screen. You're allowed to say, what the goddamn noobs, what are you doing? You're horrible. God, I wish I could. You're allowed to scream. You're allowed to be upset by a loss that you felt you should have won. You're allowed to scream at newbies or boobs, and yeah, you're allowed. So there's no real well, I rage as well. Luke, Jojen rage as well.
Exactly. It's a case of there's no reason at all for you to think that it's wrong to rage, as long as you're not doing it via text chat all the time. Occasionally someone is really bad to you as a person, shoots you in the back or whatever like that. I'm a sort of person who cannot let a shot to me slide. If someone deliberately shoots me, I will go out of my way, ruin the game for everybody to get them killed, because I'm that sort of guy. I cannot stand people who do that and think they can get away with it. I will try and push them out or block them or do anything that's legal in the game, and I will lose that game. I will actually ruin the game for 13 other people because I'm like that. And that's my flaw. I understand that, and I know I'm like that. But I can't stand people who think it's funny and can get away with ammo racking one of their allies and lets them go the rest of the game with the damaged ammo rack. Shit like that, I just can't stand. And it's a flaw. I know this. I don't like that I do it, but I do it, and I understand it. But you got to try and sit back. If you feel yourself getting angry at playing the game, take a break. Go get a cup of tea, read a book, come back.
Yep, exactly.
Right.
Yeah,
Now, this guy has been asking a question for the entire time, and I want you to answer it. About the M3 Stuart.
Yes, and I've answered him in the chat a few times as well.
Yes, but answer on the stream. He's waiting.
Okay. I don't have the M3 Stuart. I don't have the regular one or the premium one. I actually think I skipped it. Shame on me. But it just didn't seem like a tank that I wanted to not waste my time with. But I already had the entire German tree unlocked, so I just needed to get past the 3 to 4 light tanks to get to the part where people aren't new players and they know just a little in the games. I think that's why I jumped to it. I'm not really sure, but I think that's why.
Yeah. I've gone through the American line on the American server. I did an invade the US month where I went to the US and started playing American tanks. And I went through the M7 and the M5 Stuart and all them jazz. And I can say that they're horrible from my experience. The derp gun doesn't do enough. The scout range is pathetic. It drives in a straight line fine, but you can't evade and maneuver. And even with my skill level at low tiers, I found it very hard. I was able to outplay people who I was just that much better than, but I was so frustrated at such a poor tank. And that's my personal opinion. I couldn't master it. That's my flaw. And I try and pride myself on a guy who won't sell a tank that I can't master. If I don't enjoy it, I will sell it. But if I think that it's just me being bad with it, I will stick at it. Like the AMX 12 ton. I'm not a very good AMX driver yet, but I'm sticking at it. I'll go like, I just lost 5 games in a row with a freaking AMX 12 ton. Let's do another. I'm going to learn how to play this thing. And I'm getting better slowly but surely. I'm dying a bit less quickly, and I'm trying to get myself better. But there you go.
Yeah,
Highfly's the master of the AMXs.
Yeah. I'd just like to point out, Spoink said that the M2 light tank and the M3 Stuart are flipping epic tanks. Smaller tanks, after I've completely grinded out the tier 10 trees, I've got all of them, not to brag, but apart from the newly added ones, of course, I started moving back. That's why you see a lot of tier 5 games, tier 6 games, and tier 7 games on my YouTube channel now, is that I just enjoy playing those a lot more. It's not just about who has the biggest firepower, it's about what tanks do I enjoy to play. And just like the Lux, or Lux, in the German tree, it's a really fun tank, and it could turn around on itself. It has such a small turning circle. It's insane. When you turn, you almost smash into the nearest building, and I find that hilarious. Just playing in a platoon
Which tank
with
is
those,
that?
the Lux.
Oh, right.
In the German tree. Yeah.
It's the last one in the German tree that can turn like that.
Yeah, it's insane. It's so funny. Just driving around like that, swirling. It's just, what the devil? It's funny. It's funny as hell.
Right, so we have Similima. Hi, Florendorsian. This is something completely different, but could you write down your PC specs? Do we have that linked anywhere, or will we write in the description below or something? Yeah, you'll do it for them.
Yeah, I can write down mine. You can write down yours.
I don't stream. You don't want to see my stats. I will say it on the stream so that everyone doesn't ask me again. I don't stream for a reason. I still have a Core 2 Duo, right? Back on DDR2. I have a 5,200 speed hard drive. I cannot stream, right? People are like, what the hell? He plays the M7. I like the M7 for one reason. before the British arrived, it was the most British tank out there, apart from the Matilda and the Churchill. It was really a classic tank that really fits the mood of the American-British alliance. It was a Sherman, a very light Sherman, with a 6-pounder gun. I just loved it for that reason. It's terrible. Terrible. It dies and it's big. It's got no armor. Like, an autocannon can penetrate it, for God's sake. But I loved it. I played it for ages, even beyond when I needed to, because it was just, I'll play my M7. Because I'm a masochist like that. So,
Yep.
there we go.
And I wrote down the specs. If people aren't really just watching, it's the GeForce 560 Ti. Back when it came out, it was the most powerful graphics card, but also one of the cheapest, biggest graphics card. So bought that one as quickly as possible. And then the i5 2500K quad core, and the rest is just basic, you know, DDR3 RAM and the same i5 Sandy Bridge motherboard, and then just hard drives. I think I have 5 or 4, yeah, and then external hard drives as well. Right now I'm just going through the tanks just to show off how many spaces I have. I don't really know how many tanks I have. I could, okay, I'm gonna count them. I count them just for fun. And you speak.
Yep, sorry, I was actually just formatting the questions we have still left. Okay, Alpine Gremlin. What do you recommend if you and maybe 3 other tanks are left alone to defend a flank and no one is coming to assist? I usually hold my ground, but sometimes it's better to fall back. Yeah, that's a hard one to answer. It is very situational. If you're in a tank that is really good at defending corners and the enemy are a bit sheepish, you can hold forever with just 3 of you. But if the enemy have balls and they know there's 8 of them and 3 of you, you're going to get overrun in seconds. If it's me, for example, against you, and I have the team with me, I will tell the team to push. And we'll just overrun you. You might kill one of us, but the rest of us will swarm around and you'll die. But if the enemy is sheepish, you get some shots off, you get their head down, you can hold them back for a long time. So it is situational. There's not one size fits all for this. Generally speaking, if you're the only one, I would say abandon it. Just tell your teammates that flank is down and run like fudge, because you're not going to do anything. A solo guy, if the enemy are even remotely competent, it's just going to roll over you. You're going to die for no reason. If you retreat to the other side, you could either A, help the push, help the lemming train down the other side, or B, you could be in the base in a better position to stop the cap when your teammates do get back, if they get back. If they don't get back and they don't successfully push, then you've lost anyway. There's nothing you could have done. Don't feel bad about it. Hit the next game, basically.
Yep. Next 3, or after saying that I have, was it, yep, 43 garage slots now with tanks in them. Face is asking, which tanks are we going to get from the British tech trees, both lines? I'm going to answer that fast. I'm going to get the Comet, the Cromwell, the Centurion, the Centurion Mark 3, and then up until tier 8 heavies. The tier 9 heavy, I'm not a fan of it, actually. I don't really know why. I'm just not a fan of it. Maybe I will be when I just get to it, but the medium tanks, I really enjoy them. Their mobility is just awesome. I really like it. Okay, it's pronounced Fash. Okay, Fash then.
Quickly counter mine.
Yep, also the tier 6 to 7 heavies. I'm gonna get all of them. All of them. A foosh. A foosh.
I have 40 slots.
40?
I have 40. I have 40. Yeah, so I'm the same. I'm going to go for the medium line because they look freaking awesome. And basically, I love main battle tanks, and that's why I'm a medium tank player. I love playing my mediums because I feel they fit the modern tank role of main battle tank. So that's pretty cool. Let's have a look at the next question. Monatomic. Hi, Flyer. What do you do when you meet the T110E3 frontally?
I run away most of the time. Unless I know that some heavies are coming my way, then I'll keep it busy, just to keep it busy, because You're helping the team even if you're not doing damage. You're keeping someone busy. If you're helping your teammates by keeping a tier 10 busy, and you're in a smaller tier 8 or 9, then you're doing a big thing for your team, because that tank is not going to be shooting his massive gun into someone else. And more HP for the team means a win in most cases, unless they're totally screwing up somewhere else. While the T110 E3 is just looking at me, doing nothing. Yep. Next question.
Next question. Nibbles actually asked 3. So his latest question. He was playing World of Tanks so-so, but he really got into the game after getting the big gun on the KV-1S. Now he's on the IS and he finds that the tank is really enjoyable. What's our opinion on the Russian heavies?
Well, what's your opinion? You like them.
Well, I actually went down the T-34 route, the medium line on the Russians first. Out of beta, I was an artillery player on the beta, and I decided to go for the medium tanks as soon as the game went live. I went down to the KV-1S back when it was actually a medium tank, not a heavy tank like it is now. And I switched across to the IS and instantly fell in love. Now, the reason I like the IS is when I was a bit more of a mediocre player than I am now, I love being very aggressive. I led the charge. I was always at the front telling the teammates to come up and do good pushes. I can't stand waiting around because I've got a family of 2, and there's any moment the kids can come down and we have to stop playing. So it's just like, right forward, don't stop. And I was always at the front. I got lots of scouting, lots of cap points because of this. And the IS excels at being an assault tank, leading the way and getting in the front, point blank shots. It's not very accurate, so at range they're not very good at sniping unless you're bloody Adeptus, and you can get close, bang, lots of damage, and get out of there again. It makes you feel really powerful. You move out of the corner, bang, get back behind the corner, you can duck and dive. It's really exciting, it's really cool, and it makes you appreciate aiming. If you appreciate the aiming and you don't mind the long reload times, you become so much better player. I loved it. So much so that I got the IS-4 before I even got to the T-59. I just stopped playing the medium tanks. So,
yep.
Yeah, I really recommend them. They're really cool. They have lots of disadvantages, but they're so fun. They're so fun. Like the IS-3 has a tendency to blow the fudge up from the front with one bullet from anywhere.
Yep. My opinion on the tanks. Well, the game in beta was very, I don't know, I wouldn't go biased, but it was just every player seemed to focus on getting the USSR tanks because they were better. They had sloped armor because nobody knew where to hit them. But of course, the developers had already thought of that. They have weak spots, you just have to aim for them. But back then, nobody knew the weak spots. Only the clans, and they weren't really making guides back then. But people were really hating on the USSR tanks. And me and my friend Nitrix and 07 protested against them by only going Germany and American. And then when I got bored, I started going for the IS and the IS-3 and the IS-4 and 7. And I really got to appreciate aim speed and accuracy and reload time. All of those things that really, people forget about those when they speak about the Russians and they're so overpowered. Well, they're freaking balanced. And even though I still play some of them, I don't really enjoy them as much as all the others, but they're still fun tanks to play.
I totally agree that they're really fun, but the Russian bias is not there. It really is not there. In fact, the Americans have a bias, if anything. Anyway, there's actually a question I had thought of, and I'm just trying to remember if I can remember because I just got distracted. Okay. BC Saki 91 has just wrote something I think I should talk about.
Okay.
He says, don't you think wargaming doesn't really care about the community? Now, it's a really tricky question because Belarusian is a part of a dictatorship. They have a different opinion on what is good and bad customer service, what Europeans do, and especially the Americans. So you'll find that they're very heavy-handed. They're very much what we say go, because they haven't learned the European way yet. They're a very young company when it comes to globalization. Their market was mostly the Russians. For a long time, it still is. So they're taking their time. There are people advising them. There are moderators in every game. I mean, World of Warcraft's one with terrible mods sometimes. It depends on the game, depends on the mod. Some mods are great, others not so good. They do care about the community. They handle it in a Belarusian way. Russians appreciate it. That's why the Russian community has grown so much. Europeans, not so much. But that's why they opened a European office, and it should be getting better all the time. Hold on, what was that?
Well, he blames it on the...
gold ammo changes.
Gold ammo, yeah.
See, you say that the entire raged against it. You actually are not part of the majority. You're part of the loud minority. Minority. Most people who are actually part of the super testers, the pro players and that, really think it won't matter too much.
Nope.
Now, a lot of people, when you say like, oh, the entire, you're talking about 100 people, maybe 1,000. There are millions of people playing in Europe. That's a minority. So you think it, you might feel very strongly about it right now. Read my article on worldofwar.net. I actually wrote one about the gold ammo. Talk about it with me on there, and I'll gladly sit there and talk in the comments with you about it. Okay, I give my opinions right there on the page. So go ahead, read it, and comment. You don't even need to register an email account to comment on that. So worldofwar.net, worldofwar.net. Go there, look for the article on gold ammo, and just talk to me there about it.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's asking the same question. If we like it, I have no problem with it, because you will go bankrupt if you fill your tank with it. And if you want to go bankrupt, fine. If you want to destroy tanks each and every single time, fine. But you won't have any credits to use for anything else, unless you only drive premium tanks, and they'll come out with a profit of, I don't know, 5,000 credits, and that won't even be enough to,
it's really hard.
do anything. So bringing a few shells for each specific heavy tank that you can't penetrate reliably, yeah, it's going to change. You can't really have that, oh my god, the biggest tank on the enemy team is straight in front of me and I can't penetrate him, factor as much, because even I will be bringing at least 2, I think, in my super Pershing at least. Tanks with low penetration, which can't penetrate some of the bigger targets that it comes up against. I'm gonna be bringing 2 shells maybe, just to make the enemy go, oh damn, he can penetrate me, what's going on here? Oh, it's premium. Have you loaded his entire tank with premium? Or... and that's gonna make him change his mind about attacking me, because my rate of fire is high and his isn't. So changing the mindset of your opponent is a really big thing about this game. In the super Pershing, when I meet someone who can penetrate my tank and he knows the weak spots, I don't go out there and try to be a steel wall like every single other game when people can't penetrate me. I really have to think about my game and start side scraping. So mind games, there will be more of them.
The thing is, guys, the more you guys learn about armor, the more you realize that you can do angling and reflection and deflection, and all that sort of stuff. Makes premium ammo less and less of a big importance. The reason silver ammo is so less effective is because it actually gives you a wider angle of margin of difficulty. So, sorry, a smaller. What I'm trying to say is it's easier with silver ammo for you as a defender. So if you're good at shooting, it doesn't matter if you're using silver shots or gold shots. You're going to go through anyway, right? So it's actually about you as the player being able to defend yourselves. Silver ammo helps you as newbies survive longer. But with golden ammo, even with bad shooting, you can get through people with bad deflection. Yeah?
Yep.
So it balances itself up. But if you're trying to use gold ammo all the time, you're not going to progress, because I, for one, am always credit starved. And if I'm using gold ammo, buying from credits, I'm never going to get anywhere. So I think the people you're going to see with that are the really good players that don't need the gold ammo anyway. It won't make much difference. But that's just that summing up. Yeah. With the people talking about the finish, I can't do the double dots with my keyboard layout, all right? I tried. I know how to do it, but I can't do it. I have to change the layout.
The double dots?
Are we got any more time for any more questions, or are we over?
Go for maybe 2 questions
Two more.
more? If they
Okay.
have.
Herald 337. Hi, Flyer.
Harold. Yes.
I'm having trouble with the E50. About 150 battles, and I'm still around 47% win. Any tips?
I actually have just gotten the biggest gun on the E50, and I don't think my win ratio is very good with it, but I know now with the big gun that sticking to it and just I didn't get any experience per battle. I think okay, I got 746, but that's only 500 without any premium, and that's not very high in tanks that are that good with guns that are that good. And my crew is only 92%, so I don't really know if I should be given any tips for that tank right now, because I really had a hard time myself. I played it like it was a fully upgraded tank. It was very stupid of me. I probably just got a lot of I think it was just a lot of spotting damage done. I actually saw that in the battle reports that, oh, okay, I'm getting XP because I'm being a derpy scout tier 9 tank, and that's not how you should play the E50, because it's a tank that can change the battle if played well. I just couldn't without the full upgraded gun so far. And when you see only 200 damage go up from an enemy that you finally penetrate, it really makes you go, oh, I wish I had a bigger gun. And yeah, I didn't like it, but now I do. Now I love it. Now I love it.
Cool. Right. A few more questions. How is the US server compared to the EU server? Now, I did an invade the US thing for a month. That's why I only have like 300 battles over there. And I actually found it incredibly friendly. Incredibly friendly. And I think that's because everyone speaks English, or at least 90%. The rest is Spanish, I guess. But most people speak English, so everyone who spoke talked to each other. And it was so friendly. People were instantly hanging out with each other. And I was only there for a short while, and I was running company battles all the time, training people with tier 6s and 7s. I only had a tier 3 at the time, but obviously I know what to do. And I was running training battles and everything like that. Super friendly. I really enjoyed it over there. I understand it's also super ragey and very American in that sense, but I didn't get high enough in the tiers to understand. But all the people who were quite new, really friendly, really open, and I actually saw a glimpse of the American culture that I'd not seen before, and they were all really friendly. As regards to the strategies used, I was too low level to really notice. It was pretty much clueless. Everyone was just running around anywhere. But then again, you get that in the European server. So.
Yep. When the 5% camo that you get from, it's a question by Winchester. He asked if the camo if it costs too much, and I think it does. I don't think it should cost gold at all to have camouflage.
It costs a lot.
If they just put like 100,000 gold for a month or just a week or something like that, if you couldn't afford credits, then you're going to buy a premium tank. I don't really know many players who buy the camo for gold, because it's I don't like it, and anybody I know don't like it and won't use gold on that. And then he asked if that 5% camo is for all time or just when you stay still. It depends completely on your tank. Like light tanks, when you drive, you still have the camo activated.
Yes.
But every single other tank, you have to sit still for the camo to activate, and when you fire, of course, it goes down to 60%, like shown in their wargaming video.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Okay, last question of the night, and this is for High Flyer. I don't like this map. He's talking about Airfield. Can you guys tell me about positions on this map for specific tanks to help me improve on it?
Yes. I've mostly played this map with light tanks, mediums, and heavies. Artillery can move around the back of the base pretty much safe because there's hills. Light tanks, I always go in the upper middle of the map and just roam around up there, because spotting the enemies up there will help my heavy tanks know what's up there, and medium tanks as well, and make them move a lot more safely, because they know where to move and where they can and what's not allowed and stuff like that. For the medium tanks, I pray for a scout just like that to go and show me where the enemy is, so I know where to go. But usually I go to the upper middle part. I don't ever go to the south part, because it's full of water. You can't move. Your mobility is 0 down there, and if you go to the top of the hill in the middle, then there's you're open for artillery cover, or artillery can hit you, and you can be hit by enemies camping in the base or sniping. And yeah, I don't like that part at all. From the middle, you can hit the middle or south, so there's no real point in going to the middle if you want to attack the people coming in the middle, because you can hit them anyways. So and heavy tanks, same thing. Go upper middle part again. That's what I always do. I don't know if you have any other things. Tank destroyers, I usually go in the back all the way up northwest. There's a couple of bushes there, but you really have to... Oh no, widescreen! You're flipping out, Torgen!
Oh no!
Oh no.
I've gone widescreen!
Yep.
Oh no. This happens occasionally, guys.
Yep. Oh, and you're gone. And a pretty smile. And there you are. Okay. Well, what do you do? What's your plan of attack in Airfield?
Airfield is a tricky one. I have a few spaces I go through. I go through the middle in my medium tanks. When you got the map here, if you're looking at the mini map, you start on the right hand side or the left. I go through the middle area and try and just get some DPS down, and I skirmish a lot. I try and keep moving, semi-scout, but mostly just get... It's hard. It's a hard map, but I try and support the heavy tanks wherever they go, because there's a lot of people who go down to the south, a lot of people go to the north. I go to the middle by default, but if there's a severe lack of people on one side, I'll go to the north. That's a favorite part of mine. I go right to the furthest north, go across the northern ridge, and there's a couple of rocks around there that you can go between a lot with your medium tank and shoot on the move and get some shots out.
Yep.
So that's pretty good. And yeah, I think we can answer that one. Can we show some games with proper scouting?
Yep.
Tomorrow.
Yep. I can show one actually. While we're... You can just keep saying goodbye and stuff like that. I can show
indeed.
it.
So that was Newbie Monday. It was fantastic having you all here. It's been really nice, really cozy. It feels like I've been, sat in front of a fire, and we've had a share of good stories, and we shared the port with each other and had a frothy beer. It's been really nice. In part 1, we explained all the little things that can help you improve your win percentage. In part 2, we showed you us using the little bits and doing all the things that can help make you win. We got 3 out of 3. It was only a small section, I know. And in part 3, we explained some different tactics you can use and the reason why you'd use them, and answered a bunch of your questions. I think we answered a good 20 odd. A good 25 questions. So it's been really awesome having you guys.
Yep, definitely has. And as we're watching the game load in the background, we will say goodbye for this time. It has been Newbie Monday, and I've been High-Fly 15, and you are?
Dorjan.
Full of butter and sugar. And we'll see you tomorrow for Tuesday Company Battle.
See you then, guys.
You're still here. You're still eating. But the show has ended.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at this map. It looks weird. And I'm showing off proper scouting. Right now I have a friend in the GW Panther, and right now I'm just lighting up enemy targets up north, and I keep on doing it, and I keep on fired a little bit there, but fly. Just keep them lit. There's no one up here, if you noticed. No one has gone this way. So right now, I'm actually the only one keeping this place spotted. And going down here to show it off. Show off my spotting skills again to my friend in the GW Tiger. And he's able to aim up here. I think he fired not long ago. And right now I'm just circling, keeping my... What? Okay, I can fix that now. Actually, I can fix that now. Someone is being selfish and complaining about the faces switching. There we go. But the game just continues, and still scouting, spotting, not wasting my life pushing my tank into the enemy, because we don't need to see more than the tanks right up there. And right now I'm just keeping it spotted. There's a mouse down there. He retreated behind the building, so I couldn't see him. And there we go with the shot right there. I think he hit something. Well, even if I said goodbye now, FaZe, then it wouldn't come on the show, because this is the after party where I'm just showing off stuff. But you can have a goodbye. Goodbye, FaZe. Goodbye. Sleep tight. Sleep tight. Fash. FaZe. You said good last time, and back then I didn't say it. Fash. Oops, I just got hit. Lost half our gas. Oh, don't ever fix your fuel tanks. There's no reason to. You have the same acceleration. Well, I've been spotting a lot up here, and yep, my teammates have finally decided to show up here, since I kept them spotted, and they knew where they were, and yep. And I killed one. Hooray! And now that my teammates are over here, I decided to push through the forest. Do you even know the name of this map, Torsion?
Hmm? Sorry.
The one with the forest on the right and the cap zone on the left side in Encounter. Do you know that map?
I know the map.
Okay. Do you know what it's called?
Oh, you're on the spot. You know what? No, is it Provoca or something like that? No, it's not.
Provoca is the one with the train tracks, with the horrible assault.
Yes, of course it is.
Yeah.
No, I'm really bad with the map names. I just know what they're like. I'm always there on Skype with people going, it's the map with the, the hills on the right, the valley in the middle, and they're like,
yep.
What? Just say its name. I'm like, I don't know.
Yep. Push. Push. They're teaching me how to say F-O-C-H.
Fosh!
Fosh. But it's pronounced with when you take foo and remove the E. That's what it says on the Wiki pronunciation. The Wiki. Yeah, Fosh. That's what I've been saying in my videos. But people have gone, it's not how you say it. Fosh.
Maybe it's just the accent.
Yeah, maybe. Fosh. I like that name better than Foosh or fuck. Some people say that. Or fuck.
What?
Foch.
Fuck.
German. Yeah.
Fuck.
Yeah. Fush. Fosh.
It's the fucking
Fush.
tank destroyer with a million fucking turning circle. God damn it.
What?
Don't worry.
Okay.
The fuck tank destroyer.
Yep. Anyways,
Yeah.
this has been a game with proper scouting. I just lit up the enemies like I was supposed to. Just penetrated the mouse. Penetrated the mouse again. And then when the enemy was pushed into a corner by my teammates, then I pushed into the forest. Just went straight up to the artillery, took them out, and yep, that was it. Oh, battle stats within a replay? What is this? This is magic! Oh my god!
It must be an old one.
Yep,
Guys, also, if you want to see, you've seen me quote it before, but if you want to see me failing at Dota 2, I'll get a link in the comments now. So if you want to have a good laugh of someone who's really bad at that game, it's with a kind of sister channel. It's going to be starting any moment, and that's with a friend of mine, and we're going to be hopefully showing you how not to suck so much, but probably end up sucking so much on Dota 2. So if you like Dota 2, then come see us suck. Otherwise, yeah. Otherwise, stay here. If you just got Dota 2, then maybe, yeah. Oh, yeah, we should really advertise the next streams. Yeah, we don't have much going on. Yes, we do actually this week, don't we? We have Company Battles Tuesdays, Pro Thursdays, and ESL Sunday. And we may have the tournament Saturday this week.
What? I haven't heard about that one, though.
It's Super 6, isn't it, this weekend?
Yeah, but there's nothing in the calendar. And Simon hasn't...
No, we
Simon
haven't been asked.
Simon,
But my
yeah.
point is that, generally speaking, we get told like 2 days before. So yeah, I used to be an ex-semi-pro HON player, for people who know the background there. I used to play for Xeno. We were invited in the early days to Honcasts and stuff like that, and we did a few games. A reasonably unsuccessful clan. We could never find a fifth stable member. We kept having a guy drop. So yeah. So next Newbie Monday will probably be map tactics, but if it isn't map tactics, what was the other topic we had in mind for a Newbie Monday?
Well, the other one is tech trees.
Oh yes, the tech trees, like helping you. Oh, it's 2 weeks now, is it? Okay, cool. So it's not this weekend. So it's the ESL on Saturday, Sunday.
Okay.
Yeah, we were going to explain the tech trees and like the fastest routes to the style of tank that you like, not just like, oh, go down the Germans. It's like, oh, I like fast tanks that hit hard. I like skirmishing and getting away again. Then the French might be for you, that sort of thing. Yep. So awesome.
But
so head over to Twitch TV Bahamut with double Z if you want to see me failing at Dota 2. Other than that,
if you have any subjects that you would like to see us cover, you could always suggest it to rivetingtv@gmail.com.
Indeed.
We're up for anything, really. Not everything, you know.
Well, a lot of things. You say they're not for new players, but they are if they like that sort of thing and they're good at that sort of thing. French tanks aren't for a lot of people. So,
yeah.
Right. So I'm going to go and I'm going to go play Dota 2. So, bye.
And I'm going to go as well. See you later, guys.